An alligator attack on an 85-year-old woman in Fort Pierce, Florida has made headlines recently. Maybe you've already caught wind of it on the news. I won't delve into the horrible details, but needless to say, the incident is heartbreaking and it makes people wonder if it's still safe to move to Florida. But before you start packing up the moving truck, let's address the elephant in the room, or should we say the alligator in the water. In this video, we'll cover all you need to know about alligator attacks in Florida, where they can be found, what to avoid, and even reveal where the most attacks occur. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in Florida, hit that subscribe button below and tap the bell to be notified whenever I drop a new video about all things South Florida. My name is Jonathan and my real estate team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you who are looking to make a move to or around South Florida, and we love it. So whether you're looking to make a move in a week, in a month, or in a year, feel free to give us a call, send us a text, or send us an email, and we're happy to help you make your best move yet. Make sure to check out the description below. Okay, now back to the alligators. Are they a problem? It really depends on your level of knowledge before moving or visiting here. As a resident that's lived here since childhood, it's really concerning when I get comments like the ones in this video from people saying, "You are exaggerating. I've never seen an alligator in 30 years. It's not like you see alligators crossing the street in Brickell in Miami. Of course it's not an alligator or zombie apocalypse here, or I wouldn't live in Florida. Of course, if you live in a highly populated city environment like downtown Miami, you won't find a gator swimming in the rooftop pool of your condo building or crashing your fancy beach wedding. Yes, Florida is still a great place to live, and I love it here, but you need to be aware that alligators are a major part of our ecosystem, and we have over 1.3 million of them. That puts us at number 2 behind Louisiana for having the most gators of any state in the US, not including crocodiles, which are more aggressive, by the way. And we're the only state that alligators and crocodiles live side by side in the Everglades. There is only one species of alligator that is native to Florida, which is the American alligator, and 2 species of crocodiles that can also be found in the state, the American crocodile and the spectacled caiman. So should you be worried about being attacked if you live here? The truth of the matter is that major alligator attacks like the ones in the news are uncommon, and alligators try to avoid human confrontation for the most part. In Florida, there's on average 3 serious attacks per year and 8 unprovoked bites per year. Remember, these are human statistics and don't account for pets. Although the number is low, that doesn't mean it can't happen to you, your loved ones, or even your pets. So listen up and take these important measures to protect yourself. Number 1, do not feed the alligators. Here's the deal. Many alligator attacks in Florida have been linked to people feeding them. Yes, you heard that right. There's actually people that throw food in lakes for wildlife to consume. From landscaping contractors disposing of their lunch to neighbors that think that they're doing a nice deed. And because of this, feeding alligators can cause them to lose fear of humans, which can lead to dangerous interactions and attacks. To protect both humans and alligators, the state of Florida has made it illegal to feed alligators. The law was established in 1987 and it applies to all wild alligators, not just those in captivity. In Florida, it is not only illegal to feed alligators, but also a second-degree misdemeanors. Violators can face up to a $500 fine and 60 days in jail, so please don't feed them your leftover Taco Bell. Alligators are carnivores and will eat a variety of prey, including fish, turtles, snakes, birds, and mammals like humans. So unless you want to be their next meal on their menu, it's better to just leave them alone. Number 2, avoid bodies of water where alligators live. This one is on the list for a good reason, and people still manage to ignore the beware of alligator signs or no swimming signs near lakes, canals, ponds, marshes, and really almost all bodies of water. Rule of thumb for all you non-Floridians is to avoid swimming, walking your dog, or wading in water where alligators may be present, whether you see signs posted or not. Now, this sounds like common sense for those of you that live here, but not so much for those from other parts of the country where alligators are rare, like Oklahoma. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what if I want to go kayaking, tubing, or participate in water sports? Hey, I get it. Florida has some beautiful waterways that are just begging to be explored, but you need to be vigilant. Treat these areas like you would treat the ocean to prevent possible shark attacks. And don't forget, alligators can hold their breath for up to 2 hours underwater. So just because you don't see one doesn't mean it's not lurking nearby. And where might these creatures be hiding, you ask? Well, they love to hang out in and around vegetation like cattails, sawgrass, and water lilies. So if you see a bunch of plants rustling, it might be time to get out of the water. And if there are any overhanging branches, logs, or debris, you might want to steer clear of those too. We already briefly touched upon this, but you need to, number 3, stay alert and keep a safe distance. So if you've seen the video of the elderly woman being attacked by an alligator in Fort Pierce, you know that staying alert is crucial when you're in alligator territory. I mean, it's not like they're gonna send you a text message to let you know that they're coming. Alligators are fast and they can lunge at their prey in a split second. They can run up to 20 miles per hour for short distances, which is pretty impressive considering most of us can barely run for the bus. And let's be real, trying to outrun an alligator is like trying to outrun your problems. It's just not gonna happen. The good news is, alligators are not known for chasing prey on land. However, they are more likely to ambush prey that is near or in the water, which again makes you a huge target if you are walking along the water's edge. If an alligator does approach you on land, the best thing to do is slowly and steadily move away while keeping a safe distance from the animal. Do not turn your back on the alligator or attempt to run, as this may trigger a chase response. If the alligator does start chasing you, there are several things that you can do to protect yourself. Number one, run in a straight line away from the alligator. Although alligators can run up to 20 miles, they cannot sustain this speed for long periods of time. Running in a straight line away from the alligator may help you outrun it. There's conflicting information online about running zigzag, but really do whatever you can just to get away from them. Number two, run towards a building or a structure. If there's a building or structure nearby, running towards it may provide you with safety from the alligator. Number three, climb a tree or a fence. Climbing to a higher elevation may help you avoid an attack. Yes, alligators can climb, but it's as rare as seeing a Miami driver using their blinker. Number four, use any available objects to defend yourself. If the gator attacks you, try to use any available objects such as a stick or a rock to defend yourself. Aim for the alligator's eyes, nose, and throat, as these are the most vulnerable areas. Quick disclaimer, I do not support animal cruelty, so these are drastic measures in an attack situation only. Number five, the last scenario that experts recommend if an alligator has you in its grip is to play dead. Not an ideal situation, but if you do get attacked and the alligator has a hold on you, play dead and try to stay calm. Alligators will usually release their prey once it stops moving. Look, I know it's tempting to get close to these prehistoric beasts if you're the curious type, maybe even give them a cute name like Gary, but trust me, it's not worth it. Alligators play an important role in Florida's ecosystem, but they're not pets. So be smart and stay safe. Remember, you don't have to outrun the alligator, you just have to outrun the person next to you. If you find yourself in a situation near an alligator where you feel unsafe, it's time to call in the professionals and seek help. Number four, seek help. Let's talk about the people you should call in case you find yourself in a gator predicament. A wildlife officer is a professional who has been trained in the identification, management, and control of wildlife. They work for state agencies and their job is to conserve and manage wildlife populations. On the other hand, a park ranger is a professional who is responsible for the management and protection of state or national parks. They can provide assistance and advice on how to stay safe in a park setting. But what if you're not in a park and you're faced with a hungry gator on your neighborhood block? Well, in that case, you can reach out to your community security personnel who are trained to handle emergency situations. They can coordinate with the appropriate authorities and ensure that everyone stays safe. All right, now it's time for the juicy part. Where in Florida can you catch a Florida man and an alligator in a bar fight? Which parts of Florida have the most alligator attacks? According to data from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, the counties with the highest number of alligator attacks in Florida are Orange County and Polk County, followed by Lee County, Collier County, and Brevard County. Remember, just because these areas have had more reported incidents in the past, it doesn't mean that alligator attacks can't happen in other parts of Florida. Now, if you're thinking of heading to the coast for a beach day, beware that some cities on the Gulf Coast have frequent alligator sightings, so keep your eyes peeled if you're in Naples, Marco Island, Cape Coral, or Bonita Springs. And if you're really feeling adventurous and planning a trip to the Everglades National Park in South Florida, that place is practically an alligator paradise, and there are several companies that offer alligator tours in the Everglades. These tours provide visitors with the opportunity to see alligators and other wildlife up close while learning about the unique ecosystem of the Everglades. Some tours are done on airboats while others are done on foot or by kayak. It's important to choose a reputable tour company and follow all safety guidelines to ensure a fun and safe experience. Alligator tours are definitely a popular activity for tourists visiting Florida and the Everglades, and they can be memorable to experience the natural beauty of the area and learn more about alligators, which have been around since dinosaurs walked the earth. Are you an inspiring alligator hunter looking to bag a gator for your next meal or fashion accessory? Well, before you grab your gear and head out, it's important to know the legal ins and outs of hunting alligators in Florida. So is it legal to hunt alligators in the state of Florida? The answer is, drumroll please, Yes, it is indeed legal to hunt alligators in Florida. In fact, there are designated hunting seasons, quotas, and rules set by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, the FWC, that must be followed. To get in on the action, you'll need to apply for a permit through a lottery system, which is open to both residents and non-residents who meet certain eligibility requirements. And sorry people, winning the lottery doesn't mean you get to bag all the gators you want. The number of alligators that can be harvested each year is closely monitored and regulated by the FWC. Hunting season usually runs from August to November, but the exact dates can vary depending on the location and the type of hunt. And if you think you can just waltz in with your trusty BB gun, think again. Hunters are required to use specialized equipment and follow specific methods for capturing and dispatching alligators, which are not for the faint of heart. And let's not forget about the paperwork. All harvested alligators must be tagged and reported to the FWC, so if you're not a fan of filling out forms, you might want to stick to the restaurant menu for your gator fix. So if you're up for the challenge, grab your permits, gear up, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Okay, so hopefully I didn't scare you from moving to Florida, because I can think of plenty worse creatures to co-inhabit with. Maybe it's your mother-in-law. But before we go, I wanted to share 5 quick facts you may not know about Florida alligators. Number 1. Alligators are expert engineers. They are known to construct their own ponds and canals, which helps to control water levels in the surrounding areas. They're like the Bob Ross of the animal kingdom, but instead of painting happy little trees, they build happy little ponds. Number 2, alligators can survive for months without food. Now this is because they have a slow metabolism, which allows them to conserve energy and go without food for long periods of time. They're basically the original intermittent fasters. Number 3, alligators are not great multitaskers. While alligators are impressive predators, they are not the most skilled when it comes to multitasking. Research has shown that alligators have a difficult time walking and breathing at the same time, which means they have to stop moving in order to take a breath. Number 4, alligators have a sweet tooth. While alligators are known for their powerful jaws and ability to eat just about anything, they also have a taste for sweets. In fact, they have been known to raid beehives for honey and even snack on the occasional watermelon. Number 5, alligators have a mating call that sounds like a cross between a rumbling motorcycle and a chainsaw. So if you hear that noise while walking in the woods, don't be alarmed. It's just a gator looking for love. All right, everyone, I hope you found this video helpful and entertaining when deciding to move to Florida. If you want to learn more about living here, subscribe and hit the like button. Make sure to click on this video to learn all the benefits of living in Florida.